7-0 run for Northwestern to open up the 5-point lead over Purdue. Braden Smith, quiet so far, 2 assists to his name. Not a point nor a rebound. Benter off the shot fake. And another turnover. Cross-court pass, the 5th Purdue turnover.
Northwestern doing a great job at making Braden Smith not the primary playmaker, making somebody else do it. They're forcing him out to half court on these ball screens.
Entered to the post for Singleton. Pushed back out by Harris. Clayton to work against Benter. Got some space, and the pivot gets him 2.
Jordan Clayton is always ready to play basketball. He's a reliable guy. Not always going to make shots, but he's always going to compete. Right now, it's going down, so you know you're getting the other stuff.
13-6, the 9-0 Cat run. Lawyer trying to change it. He cannot. Short on that.
A little bit of a force from Fletcher Lawyer. Predetermined read right there. 2 guys on the ball. Benter was there on the throwback again, making somebody else a decision maker other than Braden Smith.
Surprisingly effective at that early for Northwestern. Cherubino jumps it into the corner. Extra pass Clayton. With Martinelli on the bench, who scores? 5 on the shot clock. Crop inside. He'll try and finish. 11-0.
You see it right on cue again. Braden Smith runs a ball screen. He's out near us at the half-court line. And by the time Clough's allowed to make a play, Northwestern can get back in position. A lot of teams just hedge. They don't press up the way Northwestern is.
Now the open man, and Clough with the offensive rebound. Good sign for Purdue, but Clough in some trouble in the corner. Here's Smith to the elbow for the jumper. That's no good. And the rebound, Page. Purdue 3 for 11 from the floor to start.
Yeah, take him out of rhythm right there. Force him away from the basket. Braden Smith, 50% from the mid-range. One of the best in the country. Even those aren't going down now.
Martinelli back out there calling for it. Doubled in the corner. Martinelli fouled.
Communication, but the passes are so long, it gives him time to recover. And then Oscar Clough again is the one making the play, not Braden Smith.
What's the response then for Purdue off that action from Northwestern?
They got to get Braden Smith moving off the ball like they're so good at. Put him down under the rim, set a little zoom action so he's catching it closer to the basket and then hitting one of these big guys in the short range.
Reed with the deep 2, and Northwestern continues their roll, a 13-0 run. This is an impressive start for these Cats.
Northwestern has been trending up, particularly in the second halves of their past couple games. And Jaden Reed, no Jake West, no problem for him.
And there's Smith again, pushed all the way out near the half-court line. Finds Gicarri. Harris, and Harris snaps a nearly 6-minute Purdue scoring drought.
Yeah, you look at Chris Collins right there. He puts his hand up. He said, don't worry about all that. We're good with it. He's going to let Gicarri Harris do that again and do it again. And if he does, then you'll adjust from there. But that's a defensive possession that Northwestern feels like it's a win.
Gicarri Harris is owner of one of the weirdest splits in college basketball. At Mackey, he's 19% from 3. Away from Mackey, almost 50% from behind the arc.
People at Mackey treating him too good. He's too comfortable out there.
Exactly. Page fade away. 2 on the board for Arrington Page. Well, you just see flashes of the talent of this young man.
I'm a huge Arrington Page fan because of that reason. That looks easy for him. We saw it against Michigan, seen it against Oregon. Does it there. Where he's been really good for Northwestern is on the defensive side of the ball, though, what they've wanted from him from the jump.
Here's Smith. Clough, one dribble, dunk down, Kaufman-Wren going left to right for 2.
That time you see Braden Smith a little more patient. Nick Martinelli didn't quite force him away, kind of stunted at him, let him get in range. Braden Smith does the great thing. Does what Braden Smith does, he's patient. Clough catches it at the free throw line instead of the 3-point line. Easy pass, layup.
Back-to-back trips where Purdue's looked a little more comfortable offensively.
Yeah, they'll settle in, no doubt. But Northwestern has definitely blitzed them.
Northwestern has scored on the last 6 trips down the floor. Can they make it 7? Singleton with 2 to shoot. Off the side of the backboard, they cannot. Clough the rebound.
How Purdue has to defend. Scramble, show bodies. They're not the best one-on-one defenders, so they got to do it as a team. That's what they're looking for.
There's Kaufman-Wren, that double run at him and blocking.
They're doing those on-court interviews with Chris Collins. He was in tears, family in tears. It just meant so much to him and this Northwestern family to pull off those 2 upsets back-to-back years.
Yeah, Can they do it again tonight? Purdue's starting to look a little more comfortable on the offensive end. They find Benter in the corner, 2 good looks, and then the snare after the back tap by Page. Quick push up the floor. Here's Mullins, baseline drive into traffic. That won't go in. Kaufman-Renn with the rebound. Purdue down 8. Benter. A clean look, and that's his strength. Give him a glimpse, and he's going to drain it. 42% from 3.
And that's the game plan right there from Page. Does a good job bumping. Tries to run him off the line, but Benter stays composed. And to your point, Kevin, Purdue looking a lot more comfortable, playing more in range offensively, and making better decisions with the basketball.
Page will try a 3. At the top of the key, barely rippled the twine. The big man, just a 23% shooter, but he made it look easy.
He's a 23% shooter, but you never know what you're going to get from him. He's so talented, as you said. He can knock down shots. He can play in the post. Oh, it's tough to really prepare for him.
22-14, Northwestern. Tried to get it to Kaufman-Renn, didn't like the entry angle. Here's Harris, 4 to shoot. Driving against Singleton, got Singleton in the air. He finds Kaufman-Renn at the last second.
You see now, Kevin, look at where Purdue is playing. Everything is on the perimeter. Bit of an adjustment. They go to the small ball lineup with Benter at the 4. It makes it harder to double both in the post and at the point of attack on the ball screen because you got shooters all around.
An interesting chess match. What a pass to Singleton. Everything but down on the shot for Singleton.
16% for Singleton, but that's a great rhythm pass, a great rhythm 3. Outstanding pass from Reed.
Smith will jump that in the corner. Harris waiting for it. 3 won't go, and Singleton the board. So we've seen the response from Purdue to try to mitigate the damage Northwestern was doing defensively early. What do you expect now from the Chris Collins side?
To me, it's you got to get Nick Martinelli involved. He's kind of quiet, so you got what you needed from your bench, from your other guys, if you will. And now you got to activate him offensively.
0 for 2 tonight is Martinelli dramatically with a win here tonight. But the problem is how to solve Purdue in this second half, because Purdue has solved this Northwestern defense. Winnemakers are 7 of 9 from the floor in the half. Extra pass finds an open Jaden Reed, and Northwestern is back on top.
Harrington Page starts that again. He is so good passing the ball, particularly out of the post. That's a rocket coming from the low block when Purdue's in rotation. Ends up with another Jaden Reed 3, and he's demonstrative coming back down the court like, I need the rock.
Gicarri Harris needs a little help. Here's Smith. Harris, 4 to shoot. On the attack. Page there to block him off. He'll shoot it. Page blocks it. And a shot clock violation. Northwestern got the offense they needed. They got a defensive stop. And Andy, those are things they have to have if they're going to get to that single bye.
Yeah, and the team that they don't have a tiebreaker over is Rutgers. And they rarely point back to that 2-point overtime loss at Rutgers, and actually the home loss to Ohio State as those 2 that got away. But the tiebreaker is not favorable with them if they are tied with Rutgers. Rutgers finishes with Michigan State and Penn State.
Singleton checking his toes, wanted the 3 and didn't get it. Reed was a blur with the basketball.
Blur, and that's what Purdue needs to do with Braden Smith. Move him off the ball, get him moving in space with speed to find shooters.
Instead, Smith turns it over. Reed, no. Singleton stripped out of his hands. Lawyer with a takeaway.
What a play by Fletcher Lawyer right there. Braden Smith contests the layup.
Reed is hurt, too.
Get right back to it. A little smile over there now.
See what Northwestern could do without him on the floor. Only Reed and Martinelli have scored in the second half.
Northwestern's not doing a great job at taking advantage of these Purdue switches. They're switching all over the place off the ball.
They run the double at Page, 4 to shoot. Nothing going now. And they find Martinelli inside, and he misses the bunny. The easiest look he'll have all year.
That's like seeing a rainbow or a pot of gold, or a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow right there. Nick Martinelli does not miss those when guarded. Somehow pops out.
Smith wraps it around to TKR. Good challenge underneath by Page.
Arrington Page again doing his thing defensively where he's been so good, done a great job battling for the TKR, who's playing at a really high level his last 5.
Oh, and going down to the rest of us, too.
Inquiring minds would like to know.
13 to shoot. Northwestern basketball up a pair. Page, nice. Dish inside. Martinelli. Wasn't going to miss that one at the rim.
Yeah, good adjustment right there. Purdue showing. Page decides to slip. Cheravino gets it to him, and Page showing off that passing skill again. Easy buckets for Martinelli. Make it too easy for him to get going.
Braden Smith trying to keep it alive, and he throws it away. Live ball turnover on the push, and Cheravino able to save it for Northwestern. That's a break.
How about Nick Martinelli chasing Braden Smith?
And he ends up short on the 3. Rebound Jacobson. Martinelli's got 16 of the last 21 the Cats have scored.
He's in a good zone. You see him chase Braden Smith off the ball screen, too. That's a missed opportunity for Northwestern. Second time they haven't taken advantage of turnovers.
3 pinballs out. Mullins the rebound.
Martinelli got a mismatch again with Braden Smith.
Purdue hasn't hit a bucket in the last 3.5 minutes. Entry inside. Page taken right up. He went in one extra dribble, and that cost him.
That's what they need from Daniel Jacobson if you're Purdue right there. Don't get the block. You do enough to alter that Arrington Page shot.
Here's Smith. Over Martinelli. First 2 points for Braden Smith tonight. He'd only been held without a point twice in his 139-game career.
And Northwestern has gone to a switching defense away from that hedge. And that time, getting Nick Martinelli moving side to side, gets to that mid-range that he is so good at.
Martinelli splits the defense, flips it to the rim. He's got 20.
I'd like Nick Martinelli to go to the microphone at some point and explain how he makes those shots time and time again. Over the 7-4 outstretched hand. So impressive for Martinelli.
For the first time in his career, Nick Martinelli has 20 points against Purdue. They were the only Big Ten team he had not hit the 20-point mark against, as Benter is fouled, not Benter fouled,